Oh, no cutscene. Okay. I think the next
The
one is
Executor or Executor.
Executor. Right. We have to correct our 90s selves.
Uh-huh.
This level, it's funny, I was reminded of this the last time I played through the game. This level is like strangely easy for being a later level in the game. It doesn't take long,
Well,
and
this is the penultimate, right? This is the second to last level.
second to last.
So it's probably what they did is because to give you a little bit of a breather might have been their
It could be, or they're trying to get your guard down for the arc
maybe
hammer.
yeah, to get arc hammered in the butt with all these
Yeah.
dark troopers.
That is the one challenge of this level. I think there's one or two, maybe three dark troopers, but it's kind of obvious where they are, so it's not too much of a challenge. What I hate about the arc hammer later is that the dark troopers are kind of around corners and you don't know, or you're stuck in a tight spot.
Yeah, you're in those
fucking A.
those you're in those long you're in that weird kind of long hallway that's below where you start off at, and then there's a couple of like phase ones running around down there. And then you got to watch out for those like mechanical arms.
Oh, I hate those things.
You have to blow up.
Yeah, with the laser kind of scissor
it's like a laser cutter or something.
Right. Was there any more of this ship? Hold on a second. Oh, just the... Oh! I guess I could kill these. Wasn't sure if there... I'll probably grab some more things in here. Power cells. That was probably it. Make sure. Yep, okay.
You know, some games will have like interesting copy protection where if you pirated the game and the game detects that it's a pirated copy, they'll make it like nearly impossible to play. They'll like amp the difficulty up. I think it'd be funny in a Star Wars game if like the copy protection, if it detected it, would just like have Vader or someone just like come out of nowhere and like kill you.
Right.
Like unstoppable. It'd be like the scene in Rogue One, but he'd be slicing you up.
Right. Yeah, why not? It would just take a little bit of graphical capability to show it. Oh, I guess that's just one way. This particular MIDI track sounds so much like one of the X-Wing. In fact, it almost makes me think it's the same one from one of the X-Wing cutscenes.
Oh, maybe.
It could be if they were either getting lazy. I wouldn't be
surprised if they would reuse stuff.
Getting lazy or running out of time, and they're just like, "Fuck it, throw the X-Wing on, no one will notice." Except some fucking dude in his 40s in the year 2021.
It's weird to... I mean, part of the joke was that it wasn't that far off, but, you know, Conan had the bit in the year 2000.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're like...
way beyond
we're so far beyond... Like even we're so far away from 2000 than he was.
I know.
To 2000 at the time.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing. Even as a teenager, it's like the year 2000 sounded like the future. Just saying it, and so many. I mean, how many movies did we grow up that were set in just like 2000 or 2001?
It's
were like
100% lied to.
Totally, dude.
This is not. I've said it before. This is not the dystopian future that cyberpunk future that I was promised.
No.
In the 80s, the 70s, and 80s.
I feel like there's a dark trooper in here somewhere.
But then it is. It's funny thing is that it's not the one that we were promised, but it's
a different one.
It's a different one. Yeah.
Alternate future.
Even. I was up in Big Bear yesterday, playing in the snow and stuff with the wife and kid, and even my wife commented that just walking in the sort of the downtown area of Big Bear, it just, with the masks and the lack of people and like the music that they were pumping in downtown was still going. But like, and there were some people around and the shops were open, but nobody was eating or anything. And it was just like, she even commented, was like, this is like some weird dystopia.
Right. It's kind of creepy and weird. Actually, yeah, I saw a video. It was a promotional video I posted the other day of Los Angeles. Kind of like an overhead drone shot of a billboard for Steven Wilson. And you could see in the background, there's like one car going up the Sunset Strip in the shot. It's like one car. Like, wow, LA really is on lockdown if the Sunset Strip is like dead.
Well, LA's crazy. So
in more ways than one.
Yeah. Every which way. But, speaking of the pandemic, it's I watched the behind the scenes for season 2 of Mandalorian, and it's really neat what they've been able to do with that set.
Yeah. Oh, the volume. That thing is so cool.
They just use it so well that you can't even tell.
I know.
Like, obviously things have to be CG, but like, they were talking about how they were finally able to show what it's like in Fett's ship when it changes orientation. Yeah. And it was just such a good effect that it was not even noticeable. It was like,
Right.
Or even, they mentioned when they were filming in Simi Valley that they weren't able to use, there was only one pyrotechnic they were able to use for the whole sequence.
Right.
Everything else was CG, and it was like not obvious.
I couldn't tell.
I would not have been able to tell.
No,
tell me.
I'm really good at picking out like CG of everything, whether it's fire, water, whatever, animals. It's, some people are really terrible at, like, usually, people not our age but older, they usually can't tell sometimes, but because we grew up watching the special effects movies and we've seen the evolution of it, we're pretty good at noticing. So
I was gonna say, I wonder if that's a product of having lived from the practical to the CG transition.
Yeah, it could be.
But I mean, there's people that are like face blind, right? It could just be certain people aren't attuned to that. Like, my cousin is, I would say he's face blind because he will get actors mixed up. He's just not very good at differentiating people. But sometimes I would not say that I'm face blind, but there's sometimes there's like some actors, actresses, famous people that have, they were super famous at one time, and then you look at them today later and it's like, that's the same person. But a lot of that probably has to do with plastic surgery and stuff.
Right.
Like I was looking at pictures of Alanis Morissette lately, and I'm like, that's, sometimes, I mean, some shots I'm like, yeah, that's Alanis Morissette, but other ones I'm like, what the heck?
Speaking of that, and this is kind of sad because it's nobody's fault and certainly not his because he's ancient, but I was just looking at, or I came across a picture of Bob Newhart recently, and he's like 91. He was an old man when I was a kid watching Newhart with my parents. He was in his 60s then or whatever, and so, I mean, he's just really old, so he got really thin, and his face is sagging, and his he's like gaunt. Yeah, his eyes are sagging, and he's still there because I saw an interview with him, and he's still very cognizant and like on the ball, but it's just sad because he's just withering away, and he doesn't look anything like he used to, and I mean, that happened to like Kirk Douglas and like, you know,
It happens to everybody. Yeah.
happens to
But,
everybody
part of
pretty
it,
much if you're in your 90s.
part of the gauntness is accentuated by, I think, I'm looking at pictures of him now. It's the veneers or whatever he had done to his teeth.
Yeah.
They're kind of big.
Yeah.
You know, so he's so funny though.
Yeah.
Man,
I used to love
dry delivery is so good.
In fact, it was I got on the tangent of that, and I was watching a full episode of Newhart on YouTube, and it was one where his friend George sees a UFO, and I actually remembered seeing it as a kid because I was so obsessed with UFOs at the age of 3 that like my mom probably said, "Oh, they're gonna show this episode." Oh, fucking A. But yeah, it's on YouTube. I had fun watching the show again. Hadn't seen it in forever. No, that's what I use on you, buddy. Come on, come on. I'm right here. Buddy, pal. Come on, do it.
He must have just lost weight or something. Maybe for health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It does make you worry, though, you know, when somebody loses weight and they kind of look gaunt. You know,
yeah. No, for sure.
It's like cancer or something.
But... Right. But hey, I mean, you know, he's... Oh, fucking A, is that another one? God damn it. No. I'm not ready. He's just spraying everywhere. Oh, I got him. Hopefully there's not a third one. I think that was probably it. Oh, shit balls.
The heck? Are you on the Arc hammer yet? Jeez.
I know,
Louise.
man. I think that's it, though. I knew this room, or there was going to be a room that kind of opened up panels, and I was like, yep, this is the spot. Oh, I had my superpower and I didn't know it. Or maybe that's what killed it so fast. Okay, that came out of here. Oh, there's another one. Superpower thing. Come here, fucker.
Oh, you know, speaking of plastic surgery and current events, President Biden is another one that he looks a lot different.
Yes.
Because of plastic surgery.
Yes.
The facelifts that
right.
he's had.
It also doesn't help that he's semi-dementia patient. Fucking
semi? That's generous. Depending on the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny because, like, I wasn't following the lead up to the elections, like the debates and stuff at all. So I hadn't really seen footage of Biden since, like, 2011 or 2012. Like, it had been a while. And I remember him how he was. So when I saw him again last year or the year before, I was like, what the fuck? It's like,
it's interesting.
Senile. Yeah.
Well, you know, he had that brain surgery for an aneurysm, I think it was, back in like the 80s.
Okay.
And he even joked that the doctor gave him a 50% chance of coming out of it normal. Like just to come out normal was like a 50-50. So that might have something to do with any sort of decline.
Right.
And that concludes any sort of political talk.
Discussion for Star Wars Unfiltered. It's okay. Our 2 listeners don't give a fuck, probably.
Who's the opposition candidate for Palpatine?
Yeah.
Whatever re-election.
Mon Mothma, probably.
Yeah.
It's like, are you going to follow the rebel terrorist or the tyrannical dictator?
I guess he never did have to come up for re-election because he just he had those emergency powers enacted.
Right.
And it just never was an issue for him.
Right.
It would have been interesting, though, if that was like kind of
a plot point.
A plot point or a backdrop to Attack of the Clones, but I don't know. Like if it was like a plot point, and obviously what you're gonna have, like, you know, it's gonna be like Lord of the Rings. Each movie's gonna be like 3 hours.
Right.
3 hours and 40 minutes, the extended edition. But like, you know, he's up for re-election, but you know, by the end of the movie, the kickoff of the Clone Wars and the Separatists and stuff, kind of show you how he was able to enact the emergency powers and stay in office.
I'm sure more politics is exactly what the prequel trilogy needed.
Yeah, Lucas wouldn't take anything to heart. Just like, oh, they want more.
More Gungans, more politics, more love scenes. That's what we've all wanted. I guess
we got more love scenes. Rolling around in the tall grass on Naboo.
Right. All right. Mission is ended.
That was super easy.
Let me see. Okay, I think we get a cutscene here. Never saw that ship again, or that cargo container.
What's the model? I gotta know.
Yeah. What?